Hi guys, we're starting on another project here. We're working on this 2020 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. It's a Willys model. This one's got the diesel engine in it, but the Willys that's got open differentials, doesn't have a sway bar disconnect, so it's got a few things less than your typical Rubicon. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in and swap these junkyard Rubicon axles underneath it, and then we've got a whole bunch of products. We've got some of our older products, some of our newer products, and we've got some new products that haven't even been released yet. And then we've got a bunch of products from some great vendors that we've been working with. So this thing's gonna get built up really big, really quick. We've got just over 2 weeks to have it ready for the Easter Jeep Safari vendor show. And then of course, a week's worth of wheeling before that. So it's gonna be getting a lot of use, a lot of work. We're gonna be trying to fit 40-inch tires. Stay tuned and see if we can make that work. But our first step is gonna be to come back to these axles. We're gonna take them apart, make sure our axles are straight. We're gonna put some trusses on them, get them all welded in, get them all cleaned up and painted, get them ready to go back underneath this Willys and get on to the next step. So we're working on this Willys, and this is a 2020 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Willys edition. The Willys is kind of one of the more basic versions, kind of a lower cost, lower price point for entry. It's got a bunch of good stuff on it. This one's already had a few updates done. It had some Rubicon takeoff tires and wheels put on it, some Rubicon fenders put on it. It's got a smashed up bumper, so that's gonna go away and put something else a little more fun on there. But it's gonna be a narrow track, and this one's gonna also be this one actually has the Dana 44s with the narrow, so we're gonna go to the Rubicon wide axles on it. But this one's pretty basic. It's got all the goodies, the power windows, locks, heated seats and steering wheel, but there's still cloth. It's got the small screen. So it's just a nice low cost, similar to like a Sport or a Sport S, but it's gonna be something you can get into for not a ton of money. And now you can throw a bunch of stuff at it and tailor it to exactly what you like and take it out there on the trail or just to the mall parking lot, whatever you want to do. Okay, so this rig is actually set up with the auxiliary buttons. So we're going to use this for our locker switches. We're going to grab aux 1, aux 2 for our front and rear lockers. That's going to be a nice, easy way for us to wire this setup up. And that way we'll have electric lockers right at the push of a button, and we don't have any of the goofy Rubicon lockout situations where you can't use the front without the rear and vice versa. And you can see here, this is a diesel. I've really loved my 3-liter diesel. I've got it in my Rubicon. It's been a fantastic engine, just tons of power, a lot of fun. But we're gonna kind of give this whole back end a revamp. So once it gets done, it'll look completely different. Got a lot of fun parts ready to go onto the back of this. Okay, step one on this project is to start with our rear axle. We gotta get that ready to swap in. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put in the Iron Rock off-road truss. It's gonna be a 1/4 inch grade 50 cradle, and we've got 7-gauge grade 50 front and rear plates. So we're gonna get that all assembled. We'll get that installed. It's gonna give us some really good strength, and we know that we'll be able to beat on this thing without having any troubles. But as you can see here, if you look at it from the top, these holes are actually designed so that we can come in and put our tow hooks on, or our tie-down mounts, so that way strapping it down to a trailer gets really easy. This thing's gonna be used on the trail most of the time, but a lot of times it's gonna get there on a trailer, so this will make our job a little bit easier when it comes to strapping it down. So you're gonna notice that we've got slots on the cap of the truss, and then on the plates, we've got some tabs. And these are unique, one's wider than the other, so it can only go in one direction, and it can only fit in one location. So we're gonna come in, line those up, lines up real nice. Come in and do the same with the rear cap. So that's gonna line up, and we'll take a square to make sure these things stay nice and parallel. We'll come in and get it all tacked up, then we're gonna set it on the axle. We'll mark out what we need to so that we know where to grind, and then we'll be able to start welding it up at that point. Okay, so we're putting in our rear gusset. We're just gonna use a magnetic square to try and make sure everything stays at a 90-degree angle. We're gonna come in and just put a couple little tacks in here, just so it holds. If something doesn't line up or whatever, we'll still be able to cut those tacks back out before we weld it. Then we'll come in and put the other plate on. So we've got it all tacked together, and a couple things you want to notice is we're as wide as you can get. We're trying to build this thing for strength and get you as much durability as you can get out of it. So we're coming as close to the factory coil spring mount as we can get, and over on the opposite side, we're getting as close to the factory track bar mount as we can get. So that's going to be important to give us as much strength as we can get out of it. So we made sure that we've left enough room so you can unplug or plug in the locker harness. You'll be able to come back through one of the holes to bring the wires down into it. And then over on the other side, we've got a breather that sits down here. So that gives us ample room to bring the breather hose up. But what we also did is we left it so that we can come in and put our tow hook on it, or ratchet straps onto it for tying down to the trailer. And we're just going to locate this basically coming off of this surface here. And then we're going to come in and get it so that we're running parallel or perpendicular to this. So we've got a 90-degree angle difference. Then we'll grab our trusty Sharpie. And we're just going to mark it all out so that we know where to grind. Everything clean down to bare metal. And we can get a good weld in it. We've got everything all cleaned up to weld, so we're going to come in, put a few tacks on it, make sure it stays put. Then we'll double check it, make sure all angles are right, and then we'll fully weld it. Rear truss is all welded on. We're in real good shape with this. We're going to come in and paint it, and then it's going to be ready to go. But wait, there's more. We've got the front next. So we're going to come into the front. We're going to grab our Straightness pucks, and we're going to check this. You can get these on ironrockoffroad.com. We're going to come in, check it for straightness, make sure everything is good. Then we'll come in, clean it up, and make it look good. So looking at these Straightness pucks, you're going to notice one's bigger than the other. With these JL M210 front ends, the one side bearing's quite a bit larger than the other. So these are all application specific, much like a socket set. We've got them for all kinds of different applications for you. But what they're going to do is they're going to come in and basically come in and replace the bearing. Then we'll hold those in with the bearing caps. And we're going to slide a piece of 1 5/8" tubing through the middle. And that way we'll be able to look down the barrel of those things and see if that tube is sitting centered. We know we're in good shape. If it's sitting offset, then we'll come in and put it on the press and straighten out the axle. So we've got these pucks for a bunch of different axles. We've got them for the JL 44, the JL rear 44, the JK 44s, Dana 35, Dana 30. So we've got it for a bunch of different applications. I highly recommend them. Anytime you're doing axle work, it's really nice to make sure that your axle's straight. Even if it was straight to start with, a lot of times you start welding on this thing a lot and you'll get it to bow. So then you can come in after the fact, press it back straight, and then you've got a nice straight axle. That way it'll go down the road nice and straight for you. Make sure you check out our videos on specifically on these axle pucks. Like I said, we've got a bunch of different sizes and models. They work really, really well. Highly recommend them. Okay, all the hard work is done. So now we're going to come in, finish assembling it, get it put underneath the vehicle, and then we'll be able to start running the wiring for it. We do have the wiring kits on the website. Check that out. But as they're going in, we're going to have a bunch of new stuff that you're going to be able to see. So stay tuned and check out all the new products that are coming up.